Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Skytear's Day Tuesday. It's a mouthful, and it's a good time.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome everybody. I stand behind my belief that Skytear is one of the best games ever made.
We're talking top 5, top 10, top 20.
I'm talking at least the top 5. Yep.
So it's in the
family. It's with Netrunner.
Yeah, I know Netrunner's in there. I don't know what else is in your top 5.
Let's see. I actually built
Hold on.
the top 5.
I need to update the title of this video to be Steven's top 5 games of all time. People ask that a lot.
It'd get more views than the current video.
Yeah,
for sure.
Unboxing.
Well, things that are universally accessible to all people, rather than just Skytear fans. It's always
very specific. Yeah.
Yeah, we could get our Dice Tower top 5.
Maybe we should title all our videos
and then just swap them out
and not actually do top 5s at all.
What we're actually doing, aside from my top 5, which I will actually try to piece together here, is the Stormsear expansion. It is one of the 2 new expansions that's coming out here imminently for Skytear. If you're a subscriber with us here in the States, or really anywhere, but primarily I think it's people in the States that are doing that, then you've been charged for this already. It is more or less on the way. It'll be there very soon to your doorsteps, a couple of weeks out.
I think it releases 2 weeks from Friday.
Yeah, 2 weeks from Friday. Zach with a precision play there. I'm more of a big picture guy. Which is actually not true at all. We're the exact opposite. I like the details.
But it's the kind of thing that I think someone should know, because it's the kind of thing I would miss.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm concerned with it, whereas you would be like, obviously everyone knows this.
Yeah, I'm trying to be cool Uncle Steven on the stream here. And Zach sometimes is bringing the dad vibes. He's bringing the discipline, the authority, the details, the precision. So, yeah, it's a couple of weeks from Friday. And these 2 expansions are kind of, to me, rounding out kind of the release structure of what we can expect in a year of Skytear. Now, I don't know if this is exactly true. There's changes that are happening now and then. But basically, we've got, if you segment it out now, you've got some new cards, like a decent amount of new cards being added every year. You got maybe a couple of models that are being added every year. These in particular are synergistic across factions. So will we continue to see that? Who knows? We did know from the podcast that Giacomo and Ricardo are working on a solo mode, legitimate
solo co-op
game.
Campaign. 3 keywords there.
An absolutely real game, not just a tacked on solo version of this, but you can take all your Skytear models and play the solo version of Skytear. Separate box, so that's going to be a big entry point for a lot of new people, and then everybody who's here obviously can also take what they have and play this thing solo, which is going to be huge, I think, for the long tail of the game. But then next year, I expect we'll see some more cards. We might see a few more models, and this is kind of the sequence we'll get in. And then we'll see a rotation after 2 years, I believe they said, where we'll basically, I think the models never rotate, if I remember that correctly.
I think that was a decision they made. I'm not sure. So one of the best things about PvP Gaze, who's the publisher of this game, they communicate a lot about this game. So they have a Discord, they have their website, they have a newsletter they send every week, and so they shared basically the release principles, which I thought were really good.
Yeah.
And there's someone in chat's basically saying there's a release outline for people that are interested on their website.
They have a ton of good information.
But it is
available.
Worth pointing out, like you were saying. Read it. The game came out earlier this year. We found out on the podcast, devastatingly. I didn't realize this fully, that it came out a month before the pandemic really hit. I thought it had come out last fall, but it came out core set. Then we had the May expansion with the Outsiders and everything going on there. Then we had the ended up being an August release, which was the Ashen Pass and the Into Ashes expansion and the one-line map, basically. But these expansions were originally planned to come out, I think, in August, September, and then November, December.
Yeah.
There's 2 coming out at the same time. And what you were kind of getting to, I think, is that this kind of rounds out that first year of content that was originally planned.
Yeah.
And the stuff we're about to preview and look at that's coming out in a couple of weeks was initially planned to come out before the Into Ashes content. So
interesting.
Recognizing that this is where they were planning on going after. So they did the core set, then with the core set were those first 4 expansions, right? 1 for each faction.
Each faction, yeah.
And then they did the Outsiders expansion, and then these 2 were supposed to be the next step, which is
basically kind of filling in the gaps between all the factions where you have heroes that can work across the faction lines, which is really cool.
Yep.
So we're going to take a look at Stormsear. And it's an absolutely great expansion. It'll be available through PvP Geeks in a couple of weeks, and then the subscription is already fired for this one. So if you want to get future Skytear products, sign up for that right now. Just don't waste your time. It's $0. It's free. There's no commitment. There's no fees. There's no contracts. There's no funny business. You just press a button and you get the things. There's some people in chat that are probably subscribed. They can tell you how it works if you want a little peer-to-peer review rather than hearing it from us. And because of subscribers like you, we were able to purchase some plants.
And also pass that information along to PvP so they know how much to print.
That's right.
And also make sure this game keeps getting printed.
That's right. So all these things are good things, right? These are all things that we want.
What up, Gonchi? Been a minute. Saying I haven't been this excited for a spoiler in a long time. So here's what I don't know. I don't know how much of this has been spoiled. I think very little.
Some of it. A little bit has. Just a little bit.
Can you see me? Hear me? You keep looking at my mic today. I'm like a little...
Look, it's buried in your shirt.
Can you guys hear me?
Now you can. Yeah, just twist it. Really bend it. Bend it like you're like you mean it.
Like Beckham?
Yeah, bend it. Would you please bend that mic like Beckham? That's exactly what I'm looking for.
How's this? Is this okay?
Yeah, it looks good.
All right, great.
Yeah.
You want to start with the cats?
You can tell I've been streaming for a while because you really pick up on those signals.
Like
you can tell when somebody's looking at your chest.
Can you tell? In fact, what I'm going to start doing is just like look at your forehead. Where's
I like it.
too good. You know what? I'm actually really digging.
Good idea.
We should maybe make this a thing that we do more often. These double headers. So we just got through streaming Crisis Protocol for a couple hours, and that's a game that I don't have mastery over, so it definitely burns the brain to play. But the second stream after that, I feel like the energy is a little goofier.
It is a little goofy.
So it's almost like a happy hour, you know, where it's like we come in with an hour long, like it's just we're like hanging out talking, and like unboxing is a great example of what we're doing here.
It's kind of like a post. It's like the after party, basically.
Like after you play at a tournament, you hang out and chat and do your thing.
I also just took down about 7 shots of vodka when you weren't looking, so that might have something to do with it too. I don't know. I can hold it pretty well.
I was gonna say I would be on the floor. You want to start with the champs?
Yeah, start with yours. Start with Kurumo. Now, apparently, Kurumo is getting better with these expansions. This is a big deal.
Well, there were also some rules changes. Speaking of living rules, Kamaya is on the screen, which we'll get to in a second, the Ashen Maiden. But one of the big things is cleaning up the worship actions. Happened recently.
Yes.
So particularly
Marks are within 3 now, is that right?
Kurumo within 3. You don't have to be able to see.
Yeah.
So you know, you want to go top down so we can have the pops popping, or
We're okay anytime.
okay.
You see the little green? You see the card's okay at any camera angle? Jonathan's ahead of the game on this, man. He's giving us
didn't even see
cues through the machine.
So that we wouldn't have to say that while we were live. But
Yeah, but
here we are.
I think people like it being a little raw.
So
There you go. Look, you're pulling the hero actions up.
yeah,
The
You
worship
can-
action.
You can now mark people without having to see them, which makes it way better.
That was That was one of the things Kurumo kind of. It was like seems like the worship abilities are about the same, but they're harder to land.
Yeah, so
basically.
like it basically made all of the worship actions function similarly.
Within 3.
Yeah,
No targeting
within 3.
required.
It's just how it works. Anyways, Kumaya is a fascinating
Did they do that with pillars too? If I remember that correctly, you just place it within 3.
within 3.
Oh my gosh, that makes that little blowgun hero so much better.
Necklin, is that his name?
Neliclin?
Neliclin.
Or isn't that the weird one? Isn't that the 4-armed one?
What is the name of the bend down?
Yeah, Neliclin's the new god. He's got 14 health and he dies constantly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. But he's got that ulti that is just so good that if you're half health, you're just dead.
Murder someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Aqua,
anyways.
thank you. Aqua. Clinton's on
Kumaya,
it.
the Ashen Maiden. So she is, I always say white, but yellow and red. She's a red character, though. She got that red border. She's got 3 attack, melee, so you have to be next to someone, 17 health, 1 armor, / shield. Smokescreen. While Kumaya has line of sight towards any friendly illusion,
Well, hello.
enemy heroes adjacent to her have their line of sight reduced by 1/2.
That's incredible.
So if she can see an illusion, any enemies next to her have -1 line of sight.
Yeah, I got to see a friendly illusion. So she plays well with your other teammates being of the yellow faction.
Yeah, and so this is the basic concept of these expansions is that it's characters that can benefit from the worship action of the rune that they share.
That's right.
Typically, it just means she can play red and yellow cards. Now, actually, she's benefiting from them doing their worship thing.
That's right.
So she's going to be a really great support character for a yellow heavy list that is going to be doing, like if you have 4 characters out and 3 of them can do illusions, she kind of can fit right in there and synergize with them.
Or Alternatively, now this is some wild stuff too. You have one yellow hero in there, Nupton. You have one in there. You always put them together, kind of hanging out, and that illusion's always out. And you have one model in red that is just a teammate. Like you played Dota a lot as a kid, and so a lot of times you would have team synergies in a lane. And so I would choose this hero, you choose that, and we would be synergistic together. And I know that the massive experience you have with the format allows you to kind of understand exactly what I'm saying about that, right?
That's right, 100%. But the thing I really love about this...
Zach has never played Dota or a MOBA of any kind.
I'm picturing particularly... No, zero. I played Skytear.
Yeah.
What I'm picturing is like a dodge, right?
Yeah.
So it's the kind of thing where like your line of sight's not -1 right now.
Yep.
If you want to give me the top down?
Oh, yeah.
We got these models down here.
Let's go. Let's get the models.
I'm going to straighten this out, too.
Let's get them on the Ashen Pass.
Okay. So here she is. And if I have a dodge, let's say you're using this cat. Right now...
Shydris?
I can't... I'm not adjacent to you, right?
Right.
But you play something that needs line of sight.
Now this is crazy.
Then
you got the right idea here.
Then I dodge in.
So frustrating.
And your line of sight's -1. So you can't do the thing that you were just trying to do. And
That's right.
I haven't even moved you. So many times, even if you were in... I can't even see you.
That's just a frustrating idea that you just
it's like
there.
normally,
I didn't even think about
if you're
that.
hanging here and I can't see you, I can't mess with you.
Right.
But if she's here and I have an illusion floating around, it's like you have to now recognize if I dodge into play,
that's insane.
you're -1.
All right. Well, you sold me on the model.
Yeah.
I'm already buying the expansion now.
She also has, I already did.
That's right.
Burning. That's why we're doing this preview afterwards, because no backing out now. Just kidding. Burning Sensors. This is her worship action. Deal 1 damage plus a card to all enemy heroes hit, and it's, if this is her, which it is, it's these 2 spots.
Cool.
So there's one
Yeah,
spot in the
it's her
middle.
2 daggers.
Yeah. It's literally, and it's 1 plus the top card.
That's nice.
And then they're marked, of course, because she's doing the worship action.
Because she's marking.
Let's get to the craziest thing about her.
Okay, now hold on. Let's look at the model. We kind of got the focus set up a little bit so you guys can
Look
see
at her base.
this.
You got that flame coming up?
That flame coming up. We painted these in a nice gray scheme. Thought that was really what the model needed. It's like a lot of my friends in high school. They painted their cars like this. Anybody get that? So these are good looking models. Actually, both of these I can vouch for the fact that both of these models look incredible.
I love the guy. I don't know his name yet, but the guy with the shields, those are crazy.
I mean, I love anything that's just using shields as weapons. That's insane. That's right up my alley.
That's why you love Captain America, right?
And then Jared Pine, good point in the discard. It can reduce line of sight to the control point. Absolutely. Think about that. All line of sight is -1. This model's insane.
She's crazy. Huh. But we're not done yet.
Oh, or we're not.
We're not done yet. Oh, Kylo. I quote that a lot.
Yeah, you do.
There's about 12 Star Wars quotes that Serena... I have said so much that my wife now uses them.
Does she finally know that it's from? Because like I'll say things, and then Shannon will watch the movie finally and be like, "You haven't said an original thing in your life."
Yeah,
it's all from these movies.
Yeah, that gig is up. She knows. She knows where all my quotes come from, and it's not my brain. Anyways, Enter the Void.
Gaspar Noé?
Her ulti, of course, 3 runes, cost 3, +3. She's the only one that can play it. Enter the Void Palace is an action. You have to do it when she's activating. Place Kumaya and target enemy hero in the Void Place.
Ooh, the Void Palace? The Void Place? It's like the good place?
I was going to say, it's like the good place. You stole my joke! The Void Palace.
Now, what is this nonsense? This feels like Arkham already.
You ready for this? The Void Palace. It's a +3.
Well, is it in the... But it's not in the deck, surely.
Not
is
yet.
It?
When Kumaya is activated here, she gets +2 attack and frenzy. When a hero is defeated here, or Kumaya takes the worship action here, place all heroes in the Void Palace adjacent to each other into a dome in the main battlefield.
So wait, they just go off to the side like in the Death Palace?
They literally go off into the Void Palace.
And they just have a one-on-one?
It's one-on-one.
That's insane. Hold on a second. And so then... and then when she activates, she's insane. And then when a hero is defeated, so if she gets defeated, or if she defeats the other hero, or if she takes the worship action, then all heroes here go adjacent to each other into a dome.
So
like
she can
right here
make you pop out of the Void Palace when she wants. Otherwise, she can trap you.
Wow.
And if you disappear, guess what? You're not controlling anything anymore either. You play a presence on a character and you
oh my
commit a card.
Gosh.
Let's
what
go.
An ulti.
Let's go to the dance.
What an ulti. That's
And
insane.
Jared said 2 heroes enter, 1 hero leaves.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Christopher with the questions here. We don't. I mean, if in case you haven't noticed, Zach and I are not exactly the greatest rules people. Tapeworm has got you. There's a lot of good people in the chat. I would guess that this doesn't go to the discard pile. I think it's probably a separate little thing. But I like that they put the +3 on there just in case you ever
Jared
need
says,
to.
I don't think so. I think they put the +3 on there just in case.
Jared, you're in my brain. That's fantastic. I saw Chris Peach also. You're saying you bought Super Fantasy Brawl. I gotta tell you, send it back. You get Skytear instead.
If you put the dressing on top,
I can't say
send it
enough
back.
good things about it, man. I can't say enough good things. That's just a phenomenal, just so fun.
So like,
It's devastating. Now remember, the number of times you cast ultis in Skytear is almost 0. I think I've seen 1 ulti out of you in 16
well, and when I
games.
do, I miss.
Yeah, that's right. So I'll use this very well.
Giacomo's here.
Wow.
He says, yeah, just in case. So they disappear. I assume they're just constantly within range of each other.
Yeah, they're fighting, man.
If she's just +2 attack and frenzy.
Yeah. When she activates though, so she activates, casts this. If this hero hasn't activated yet, that hero has a chance to lay the hurt on.
So like, really, odds are she's gonna cast this if it hits. She's got a 5 die attack with frenzy. She gets 2 5 damage attacks immediately.
Well, it's when she's activated here. So you've already activated before you have a chance to cast this ulti. That makes sense, right? So you choose, I'm going to activate this model, then I'm going to enter the Void Palace, and then if nothing happens, then going around to the next turn, she activates in the Void Palace, gets the big bonuses.
Yeah.
But it does give the opponent an opportunity. Now, if she pulls in somebody who's already exhausted,
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, well, we're waiting until the next round.
The best use of this is, I'm first player. I activate someone. You activate someone. I go over, I make that someone disappear.
I think the value of this card is going to be removing a key model from the table, particularly when they have that lead card that's going
I'm
to win
telling
the
you,
game.
you play presence and a lead card, and then I just make you disappear.
Yeah, it'd be very frustrating for me.
And then at
I
will,
would not be happy about that.
I get to worship, which is, I assume I mark you and this happens?
Yeah.
But like, I can't see any. I don't know what's going on. With
You
that.
can't see me. I think it's basically saying you just worship to remove the Void Palace from. It's like you're saying to your new god, like, please, let's get back to the battlefield already. This didn't work like I wanted.
But then
it
I get
to
to place us adjacent to each other, and
next to
the
a dome.
dome.
So like these situations,
That's powerful.
it's powerful, yeah.
Powerful, yeah.
Yeah, I
Cray.
mean, it's more to me. That's all about positioning. Oh, there are 2 hexes on the Void Palace. Check out the Void Palace card. Let's look at it. Does it tell us? Were we there the whole? It was there
it's
the whole
art.
time.
Look,
Oh my
on the
gosh,
art.
it's on the card. Hold on, look at
it's hard to tell because we printed it. Let's
We've
look
got
at
the
real
Italian
card.
version. Ooh,
Yeah.
guys, the card
They just
quality on these
enter the
is
Void
so good
Palace.
too. That's so cool. There's hexes there. You did it. You put hexes there. That's so good.
On the card,
And that way, when you worship,
you can see.
you can see
Spot.
exactly
Look
what
at this.
happened.
They just go to the Void Palace over here where you can't see them.
Wow, they get John Cena right there.
It's the Void.
That's so
I also,
cool.
so we got sent these cards from PvP. Thank you for doing that, job. But I love the Italian cards, actually. El Palazzo del Vecchio?
Vecchio.
Vecchio?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, good luck.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
I need to learn Italian so I can play Skytear in Italian.
Yeah, man. Wow.
You got that?
I'm just upset. I can't even believe this is insane. Cool, man.
This is just the beginning.
Yeah, put it in the Thunderdome.
What's your character do?
All right, let's talk about Shydris, the last light. Looks like a tank here. 2 attack, 17 health, 2 armor. Love it. Momentum. When Shydris becomes exhausted, he may push target adjacent marked hero 1 hex and apply slow to them.
So he needs to be with red.
Yes, wants to be with red, and at the end of the activation, whenever you exhaust, push a target adjacent marked hero 1 hex and apply slow. That's,
Come on.
I love pushing things. I particularly like pushing things at the end of the activation.
Think about this. This is cool, right? So basically, he needs his friends to mark his enemies, so he can see past his shields to
Right.
actually go get them.
Yeah, because otherwise you can't see anything.
Yeah, just walking blind. What's his worship action?
The ever-present custodian, when a friendly hero adjacent to Shidris' illusion would take damage, Shidris may lose the same amount of hit points instead. So Shidris' illusion goes and is adjacent to models on the battlefield, and if they would take a hit point loss, he can take it instead. That's phenomenal.
Especially for a 2 armor tank.
That's well, he would lose the amount of hit points regardless of armor,
I'm just saying that, like,
but he can take it.
normally it'd be like, I'm gonna ignore him, and then you do that to let me sneak 5 through, but I haven't been attacking him, and I don't want to attack him.
This is exactly what tanks are supposed to do, right? It's like, if you attack me, it's awful for you, but if you don't attack me, I'm just going to soak up all of these other characters that you want to do damage
At
to.
my choice.
Yeah, I love this very much.
What's his ultimate?
Ultimate is None Shall Enter, which is a nice counter to enter the Void Palace. None Shall Enter. It's got one of the most zany AoEs that I've yet seen. Hold on, let's pull it out of there.
Straight out, forward, and left.
Yes, classic. It looks like one of those games where you're controlling a spaceship and shooting at things. What are Space Invaders, etc.
Left and right, 2.
Yeah,
And then all the 3 spaces directly in front of you.
3 up. You guys can see it pretty. Yeah, it's up on the screen. So it says, None Shall Enter. Place each hero and minion hit in the hex outside the AoE, closest to their current hex. Hexes in the AoE block movement and line of sight. It's a reaction.
Hold on, let me see that.
So just take a look at it. Just read that for a second. So essentially, this massive AoE happens. Everything
outside the AoE.
Everything moves outside of the AoE, and then for the rest of his activation, it blocks line of sight.
That's phenomenal.
And you can't move into it, right? Is that what it
Phenomenal.
says?
And that art's phenomenal. Get out of here. That's all I need to see. Let's just save the rest of these for when the product comes out.
Man, isn't that awesome, though? That's what shields do. Block you.
The power of shields.
None without worth shall enter the lands of Nupton. That's cool. None shall pass, man. Just a big old wedge.
None shall enter.
Just a massive wedge. Hey, shout out to Clinton and I think it was Clinton and Ian that played last night.
Yeah.
I think that was quite a game. I saw a
Ian.
little bit of it. Ian won. Congrats.
Yeah, man. Bringing it home to Oklahoma. Is that a Worlds qualifier? There's too many tournaments for me to know what's going on anymore.
Yeah, choose your favorite. But Ian apparently took that one home, which is great because we'll get to play against Ian in person at some point.
And he'll be very good at
And
this
he'll be
game.
very good, and Eric's going to be very good, and Tim's going to be very good, and Zach and I are going to come in, spend about 5 minutes learning their tricks, and then beating them forever. Your card.
I think Tim and I had our jam session a few months ago. I just retired against Tim.
It's over.
Just going to win a bunch and then leave. All right, you ready to look at some cards? I think we just look at like one of these and then we'll leave.
Why don't you do all the red cards?
All right.
And then I'll do all the
Are these in the
cards.
same order?
It doesn't much
I
matter.
thought you put them in a specific order.
No.
We're
You
gonna
do
look at the reds.
Yeah.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll start with the one that I think I saw, which is Decree of Kurumo. It's a 1/2, costs 1 resource, it's a +2. It's a reaction, and you can apply marked to target hero. Any red character can play it. Get out of town.
This is the fundamental. We were talking about how these are the fundamental cards that were supposed to happen before. What was the other one called? The most recent, the expansion, the cards.
Into Ashes?
Yeah, so this is supposed to happen before Into Ashes. And what we've seen from other spoiled cards is that every faction, I believe, is getting a power card that applies their worship action without having to spend it.
Yeah, which makes perfect sense.
Of course it makes perfect sense, right? I mean, that's the lowest hanging fruit on earth.
Yeah, it's like trade a card for a worship action. Like, it's just basic.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
And
it's +2 because Kurumo.
And now you have to target with this one, though. It's not the same as the worship action. This says target.
And it's also a reaction, which is
importantly.
incredibly important.
Yeah, because, like if we pull up Kumaya again, who, if I'm next to you, and
That's just awful.
now hers is next to an illusion, actually. So it'd be the opposite. I'm going to need your card.
But the hero has to be marked, don't they? They don't have to be marked. No, it's not at all. So you got to work with the illusion there.
Yeah, so I'll need yours. But any number of times when it's like, I'm picturing Miyuki.
I hate Miyuki so much.
You go to attack me and it's like, you're marked. How about you get minus everything?
-1 and don't flip a card.
Yeah, it's super good.
Oh, well, that's fair.
So that's a basic, just good card. I think that's usable in a lot of ways. Offensively, defensively, depending on the heroes.
It's one of those things, if the worship action is worth using, then surely this card is, especially at a +2. Like, Kuruma's going to run that for the rest of time.
But if you have enough cards that you have to run, then like that's the beauty. I haven't seen bad cards. Except presents. I don't know why anyone ever runs that. Anyways, next we get Strike Terror. It's a reaction. She looks scared. 1 cost +0. Target hero gets -3 attack.
Now, isn't this fascinating? We're seeing the color pie doing the same stuff that other things are doing, but in different ways. So you're not disarming, which is what blue is typically
I'm
doing.
just giving you -3.
Just a -3 attack.
Now, if you're a 1 and a -3, you're at 0, I assume. You still get your plus modifier.
No, it's a -2, and you take 2 damage.
That's right. Now, I'm more saying if my modifier gets me...
Yes.
This only affects the attack stat.
No,
not
I
the
don't.
total
Man,
attack.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It says the hero gets -3 attack. I don't think the modifier is your attack.
But do you calculate your final? There's a chart for this. I've seen the chart. Now I think
I'm not good with those.
I think your attack is calculated at the very end after the flip. And so if you get a -3, I think it's after the flip that -3 is going to apply. Now I don't know that for sure. Like I said, I'm not the rules guy. Chat's going to help us out here. I have no doubt. And then Josh, I wanted to get to you, Josh Hogan. Look at Jonathan going.
Popping the chart over your face. I'm the Oogie Boogie Man.
Help me.
I can't read it.
I got you. This is the damage dealt. Subtract the target's armor value. The shocking number is the amount of hit points. The attack can go negative.
All right, so it takes you negative. Your modifier gets you back to 0.
That's
and
exactly
then we
it.
call it a day.
That's exactly it. That's a good
So,
card.
That is, I mean,
Plus
0
0,
for
so you'll never
-3
touch
is
it.
crazy, though, actually. Like, just a -3, it's your 1 cost card that Nourish is +3 health, right?
That's right.
So it's the same.
You seeing some spreadsheet math going on here.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
These Italian boys know what they're up to.
Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
This is fun. Provoke the Beast. 1, this art's awesome. It's a 1/+1. Decent. Action, only on your turn. Take an attack action with target outsider.
Oh my gosh.
How cool is that?
Oh, Terror of the Night just got way better.
So you can see, you have to be able to see the outsider, wherever it is.
Which is correct, by the way. The more targeting in this game, the better for me.
Yeah.
It's a game of line of sight, targeting, etc.
And position.
Yeah.
Which is why targeting line of sight matters. Anyways, this is great. I think this is super fun. And
Yeah, you think it's fun.
there are going to be situations where this is going to be fantastic.
No, yeah, I'm a huge
1 cost free attack.
I'm
Get outta
a
here.
huge fan of that card.
Agreed.
If it were a reaction, it would be Bugatti.
Jared Pine says, what?
So let's think about that though. So this, in a lot of ways, this is going to act as a essentially kind of like a frenzy, right?
Taylor says, I, a blue player, am currently flipping tables.
That's right. So, I mean, you're basically paying 1 mana to get a new attack that costs no actions. That's usually a 3+.
But you have to be able to see the outsider, and the outsider has to be able to target the enemy. And now, from now on, if you're playing against red, you have to understand if you're within attack range of an outsider, it could be a problem.
Yeah, that Scourge.
Because, like, if we're on turn 3, what if I have 3s in my hand?
It's terrifying.
It's literally
I
just,
like it,
I
though.
did 3 attacks
Yeah.
right now.
Like the Scourge is 4 with 2 flips, isn't it?
I don't think so. I know the standard
better not.
outsider is a 3 with ranged, right? 3 plus a flip.
Huh. Now, yeah, that's true. Jeremy got a good point. It costs 1, but you can't play it on the first round because
there's
the
no
outsider
outsider.
hasn't been summoned.
Also, making
Roshan.
ties happen in the outsider zone means they don't come out.
And then you have that, yeah, the original outsider we're talking about here, XC Zeus. It has that ranged attack, and it has like
And
all
it
the
has to be
range.
placed across the dome.
Wow.
So it can shoot in and out.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So like this would make Kurumo, I think, like that original outsider a lot.
Yep.
3 and you can't really avoid the attack is super good.
Yep. I like that.
All right.
What a cool card.
You ready to keep going?
They're all cards you want to play, but you can't fit them all.
You can't.
Not in your key 7.
I was already having problems. Prior
Yeah, me
to
too.
this.
Me too.
And now it's just going to be more problems. You ready
And that's a story of life, though.
for the next one? I love the art
Yeah.
on this card. Seize the initiative.
Okay.
It's another classic 1/2. It's an action you have to do on your turn. Choose a player. At the end of the turn, they become the first player.
Stream brought to you by Nalgene Trail Products. Also a huge fan of Skytear, many at the office play. It's a lie. But this card is great. But how many do you run? I mean, you can't run more than 1, right?
I mean, no, I think you can. You can seize the initiative quite often. You can keep flipping it to whatever makes most sense for you, right? So, like, Basically, imagine turn 1 happens. I get the tempo of going first and also the Skytear flex, which technically this pays for, right? But
That's
it
true,
means
yeah.
you don't get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Going into round 2, it's like, what rounds is control more important versus tempo? And you basically get to dictate. I think you probably, if you're going to run this, it's 1 or 2. But like,
See, I like the idea of going second on the first round.
and then switching to tempo.
Maybe. Can you target yourself? Choose a player. At the end of the turn, they become the first player. Don't even have to target anything.
You just choose a player. So even on turn 1, how often do you have a character that doesn't spend their resource? It's like, now I get to go second, so I get the tempo.
Man, if I go second and then I go first coming into the second turn, that's so good. Wow.
And it's a +2.
That's aggravating. I'm going to hate that card. That might be the red presence in a lot of ways.
But like, weirdly, it's like, it's not really seemingly doing that much. But I'm telling you, if I'm going second and you have a character, I get down to like 2 health.
Attack, go first, attack again. Yeah, we've been there. We've all been there.
Let's flip it. Let's do this.
We've all been there. That's great.
Plus, if you're planning on, if you know you get to go first next round, so mean.
It's so good, man.
So mean. All right, and then the final Kurumo card in the pack. Release the Spirits. It's a 1/2.
That's Miyuki there, isn't it?
Yep. It's a reaction. It's an AoE. It's the 2/3 in front of you.
All right, hold on. Let's get the. Got to scope out the AoE here.
Yeah. So it's, if this is me, it's 2 and then 3. So it's the standard like spray template. Remove all conditions from each hero hit. These heroes cannot gain conditions.
Ooh, that's good.
So it can remove
all your cards +2?
That's how Kurumo rolls, man. So it can literally remove bad and good conditions.
Yeah.
Ideally, it's like if I have someone that's slow or disarmed next to you, I can walk up, remove that, and also get rid of your good condition.
It also, I think really what this is going to do most of the time is it's going to clear something. So you're going to have an ally here. You're going to be doing a big thing with the chemo here. I'm going to disarm a chemo. You're going to cast this spell. It's going to say, I can't gain conditions, or you can't gain conditions. Now you know you can't be disarmed, you can't be anything. But do you have frenzy? Because you got to watch out. You don't want to clear your own frenzy. Yeah. So you be careful.
But if I'm looking and like, what's the thing that if I'm next to it?
Blue's going to hate this, by the way, with all that shapeshift stuff. Like, old bear man's going to come in there like, oh, here I go. And then you're just going to be like, boop.
I'm going to purify this.
You're not a bear at all.
It's gone. What's the character that if I start next to and you're shapeshifted, I get
not Brilvar, the other one. Well, Brilvar and the Beetle.
Yeah,
Beetle Man.
So like that's a really good example of like, I can just make that a non-issue for 1.
That's going to be probably most significant for shapeshifting.
And it's reaction.
Yeah.
So like,
that's really good.
Yeah,
I like it.
You know, if you roll up and you're wanting to be next to me to make that happen, it's like I can react on your turn, play this, get rid of your shapeshift.
Get rid of your opponent's fast.
Dude,
get rid of your opponent's frenzy.
A reactive remove conditions is actually brutal.
Yeah, it's killer.
If you get like fast and frenzy, because that happens, right? Where you'll give a character a couple conditions.
It does happen.
And then it's just like, I'm going to react and remove both of those.
For 1. Man, cool. Good for you, Kurumo.
And that's all Kurumo's got.
Yeah, well, let's see if Nupton's going to match it here. Starting with Triumph of the Light. You may remove a pillar in line of sight. Predict 2. So anti-pillar tech coming in for Nupton.
Which you can remove your own pillars. You can also remove your enemy's pillars if you happen to be playing against green.
And I imagine most of the time you're going to remove a pillar from your opponent. Because otherwise there's really not a whole lot of point to it. Unless you just really need to be standing there. Well, you can stand on pillars. Who knows why you would do that. But
I mean, if you want to predict 2.
Well, you may remove. You can always just predict 2 with it. So at worst, what is that? Isn't there that neutral card that predicts 2 or 3? We never play it, so we don't know what it looks like.
No idea.
Or what it's called. Some people are talking about it a lot. I remember on the Discord, the Skytear Discord, a lot of people were talking about that card.
Okay, so it's just pay 1 to predict 2. And if you happen to be playing against green, it's really bad for them.
Well, and I think this is probably a metagame-driven card. Because at this point, we've all gotten certain openings and stuff are starting to show up. So there's a lot of things, like there was that for a while, it was the Ixitaxi thing. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I go this pillar and then we can move this guy in. And so you can just be like, remove that pillar. And that cancels it. So I think it's a good like in case things get a little out of control with those first turn openings and they're just insane.
I think having reactions, even mine that removes the conditions, the red card that I talked about, it means that if there's degenerate things happening, there are tools built in to just stop it. Like if having, in this case, having the pillar there is your whole plan with Ixitaxi, now there's a card that just stops you.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, and Christopher's on it as Astrida. So Tlakali dropping that pillar that prevents the minion from dying, therefore she doesn't get her ability. Now you've got an answer to that. It's like, yeah, this is total like metagame insanity. I think red probably got a lot of the heat because we were trying to make Kurumo great again, of course.
Well, and it's, again, if this was being designed with the core set,
that would make sense, wouldn't it?
Consistently like, we don't know if they're good enough. And then like, they were probably testing with all these tools as well, which is a different environment for sure.
How about barring the way? Reaction +2, 1 mana. Is it when a minion would be spawned within 3 hexes from the caster, that minion is not spawned instead.
I love the wording on that.
It's more meta game. You think you know what you're doing, and then you roll in and you're like, here we go. So this is probably more of an answer to blue because Astrida spawns those minions. You've got like the pack card that spawns the minions.
Can you not do this during the typical spawn?
Oh, I hope not. I don't think so. You can't ever play power cards during that, can you? There's no way.
I've never had the need to.
No, there's no way. Because you wouldn't be able, like, if you could play the kill a minion, like red card whenever minions are spawning, like that wouldn't.
It wouldn't matter anyway, because I think do it on the next round.
I think this is totally anti-Astrida, anti-spawning minions technology here.
I like there's a 1-2. Straight up.
Yeah, right. It has to be if it's going to be this specific. Yeah. I think for sure. It also, again, seeding cards in a card pool that are going to potentially solve problems that aren't quite there yet is also really smart. You can only
play it during the hero phase.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Ben Sweeney saying Zach's over here scheming.
Yeah, right.
That's my role on the team, is to find ways to break things.
Let's talk about Whisper of Nupton. +0, reaction. Friendly Nupton hero on the battlefield takes a worship action.
Wow.
That's actually phenomenal. So
anyone can play it.
Anybody can cast it, and then any hero on the battlefield can take a worship action, the Nuptons, to drop that illusion.
Yeah.
That works with your silly hero over there. If you're next to an illusion, line of sight -1.
Yeah, it's super good with her because she can pay for it.
And all of a sudden...
And then someone else can take the worship. And then I can dodge into the way.
And then it's just
I like the idea of dodging into the way,
right?
By the way.
What a turn.
What's the three cost that it bounces me and I do my attack damage as well?
Reeve.
Reeve, there it is.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's so good. This is great.
Yeah,
I think +0 makes me sad, but I don't know how I can't run this. This actually, honestly, this makes my favorite hero this much better. You know the one where you're adjacent to the illusion? Come on, guys.
You can't attack it or you can't damage it?
Hold on. It's my favorite hero. It starts with a K.
Isn't it
No.
I want to say Takuti, but that's wrong.
Chat, no, that's Takali.
No, it's close.
There's a... Kanui, thank you. Thank you, Christopher. Kanui. So this is so good. Isn't it? Wait, she can't be targeted with attack actions when she's adjacent. So you declare an attack against her, she can react, or anybody can react with this. Drop the illusion next to her, the attack fizzles.
Now then you respond by pushing her away. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's the way our games go these days.
Yeah.
Man, that's good. I love that. I love that so very much. That makes her so much better.
I hate that.
It's like crazy. That's a 3-up on her stack.
I hate it in the best way.
Yeah, exactly.
In a way that I know I'm going to be angsty about it later.
Let's talk about soul transfer.
You almost lost your mind about this earlier.
Yeah, I didn't read it very well. 2 mana +0. Swap the caster's hit points with target friendly hero's hit points.
So basically, you can see your own hero and switch health.
Boy, I just think that's phenomenal.
It really is, because obviously I get you down to 3 or 4 health. I'm swinging to defeat you, and then you swap with someone that's full health behind you. That's bad. That's going to ruin some turns.
Is somebody's going to build, are we going to build an Upton deck that's all like soul transfer, soul swap, like the soul deck?
Soul Train?
It's got a lot of soul. Yeah, this is just Nupton to the max.
It's crazy. This card's amazing.
Wow. I'm just thinking about it. I'm just thinking about how many games that this would have really gotten me out of a bad situation.
Yeah.
Now, don't forget, that you're new, you swapped the hit points, but now you got somebody else at 3 or 4 just sitting there like
but you're going to play Presence on someone and have a lead card under them, and then I'm going to go do everything I can to take them off the table, and then you're going to have a 15 health character sitting there.
I wouldn't dream of doing that.
And then I'm going to swing for that last swing, and you'll be like, oh, whoops.
Yeah, that's exactly how it's going to go.
Yeah, I'm going to flip a table.
Yep. And then it's going to be Kanui. I'm going to swap, give her like 2 hit points instead. And you're like, well, I'll go hit her, and then I'll play the illusion next to
it writes itself. We're already done.
All right, finally, Brilvar continues to get aced in all these cards. Purge and Purify.
Someone has to.
It's an AoE. It's an active spell, so it's got to be on your activation. Place the AoE on target hex, and it's one of those, what do we call this? This is essentially the Tetris Z or S or whatever.
A square?
Nope. Nope. It's like more like a diamond, really.
I don't know. If you look at it like this, it kind of turns into a square.
Yeah. Well,
what are those shapes? They're like a slanted square,
it's a quadrilateral for sure. It has 4 sides.
It's this one.
Yeah.
These 4.
Each hero hit loses all conditions and loses 2 hit points per condition they had removed in this way.
Now let's just back this up. Hold on.
We're playing a game now.
If we compare this to Release the Spirits, they both remove all conditions, but Release the Spirits can get rid of bad conditions on you.
That's right.
That's one upside. The downside is it doesn't do damage.
Right.
So Purge and Purify can do a bunch of damage.
More direct damage.
But meantime, Release the Spirits is a +2 instead of a 0. And it only costs 1 to do.
And it's a reaction.
And it's reaction.
That's the most important piece
But
of
like
that.
how similar but how different. This is the beauty of Skytear, honestly.
Yep.
There's not, these cards functionally do very similar things, but they are worlds apart in terms of what they provide. And if you're running someone like Kumaya, you could play either card. But like the choice between these 2 cards, it blows my mind.
Let me tell you something else about why this is so good. You should get really excited about this card, because I feel like Kurumo is set to make this thing pop, because you're the only faction that can apply a condition to the enemy. So you mark them, that's already 2 damage. If they were already fast, or if they had Frenzy, now you're at 4 damage. If you're running that stupid mage that does +1, which everybody is.
And side note, it's not even damage, it just says loses HP.
Yeah, they just lose the HP. It's not even armor. Armor is just like...
Can't armor, if there's anything that prevents damage, doesn't matter.
Man, that's excellent. Now, if there's other cards, there could be other cards that that allow you to put conditions on things. Now, I
mean, I already have some of them. It's like give someone a disarm token or a slow token.
I wonder if there's even like give somebody a fast, give somebody. It doesn't matter at that point, because there's just going to be like 10 damage turns with this, where you just stack, and
I like that a lot.
nuke them out.
I'm sure actually, I haven't ever wanted to give you a fast token, but I wonder if the cards that do that, like Quicken, does it say?
I think it's the caster on that one. I think it's the caster.
But
Christopher's got it right. Miyuki applies slow with the marking process. So that's a 4 damage nuke for Miyuki out of the box.
And if you already have a token, it's a 6 damage.
That's 6 damage right there. And if you're shapeshifted,
put it on the box.
Pay damage. Man. Hey, this is awesome.
This is a lot. So this is one of the 2 expansions coming out. The other one is obviously blue-green, green-blue.
Yep.
This is...
Honestly, I want to see that one so badly.
Because there's only, outside the heroes, there's 10 unique cards, 3 copies of each happening. So that's not a ton of new cards, but I feel like this fundamentally shifts the game.
These are all such fundamentally important cards. But that's what they keep doing.
Yeah, it's impressive.
They keep making all the cards that I want to play. You know how we would get a chapter pack for Thrones and be like, maybe 1?
Yep. I do painfully. I mean, the reason is that in Thrones, there were, at the time, 6 houses.
7, wasn't there? Or only 6?
Well, there was 8 in 2nd edition. First edition, there were only 6.
Is that all right?
Because there wasn't Night's Watch, and there wasn't Tyrell.
Yeah.
But there were, literally, you would get 2 cards per house and some neutrals, was about what you were rolling in. It'd be a plot, some of them that you don't want. What's the thing? the agenda. Is that what they were called?
Agendas, yeah. Sometimes. Yeah.
Anyways, the reason I say all that is that if you play Targaryen, you basically get 2 cards. But in this case, like we were saying, you just were talking about that Purge and Purify. It's amazing with Miyuki, who's not even yellow.
Right.
So by design, the way the 4 colors work, red can pretty easily play with green or yellow. 75% of the cards coming out are playable by your favorite color.
I'm just kind of curious now, since you said that, which you're totally right.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I know. I was trying to see if any of these red cards worked really well with green things.
Sure.
And then what did we? Oh, with the new pillars, yeah, we decided that blowgun is way better.
But by design, literally, 75% of the card pool is open to probably whatever list you're playing.
Yeah.
Even if you have a favorite color. And so, like, that just means when 10 cards come out, you probably just got, like, for me, as someone who really likes to play red, this is 10 playable cards.
Yeah. No, 100%.
And even the green-blue one will be half blue, but, like, the green ones are definitely playable by me.
That's going to be, it's going to be, we just felt like we got our feet. And then it's shifting at, I feel like, just the right time.
Yeah. We needed it. I'm ready to get back to the 2-lane map a little bit. And I'm ready to have all this new stuff and explore these new heroes and play with all these new cards.
Me too. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for joining us. Do you want to let's pop up? I saw it looked like Ben. Were you looking at? I think you were looking. Needed the heroes. So let's look at Shydris again. Shydris, the Last Light. Beautiful tank here. I'm partial to warriors myself. I don't know what the deal is there, but it's always been my favorite.
In Crisis Protocol, you also liked playing the beefy cats.
I did play some beef.
Just the like punchy dudes.
Can you flip the other side of there, Bryce? That's
good art.
Yeah, beautiful art. And it seems like, I don't know, the art, it seems much more professional. Maybe that's not true, but
the templating is the new templating.
And the cards themselves, like we're looking at these proxies that we printed, but the cards themselves look phenomenal.
Well, part of that too is that
see the background in there now?
The Into Ashes expansion was printed with a different printer as well.
Mm-hmm. Man, they're just bright, vibrant, really good looking cards. So this is Shydris. And then we also have, what's the new one? Kumaya?
Kumaya. Makes you want to sing Kumbaya.
Kumaya. It's really a great.
You're there.
This is the number one thing you want to do with a card game, by the way. And it's not even a card game, but it is. It is a card game. This is the number one thing you want to do is give everybody who plays, their favorite faction, their favorite heroes, more playable options than they know what to do with. And like, how do you get there in the first year?
This is how.
I've seen games struggle to do this after year 5.
Well, I do feel like that for most, at least non-collectible card games, 1 year to 1.5 years is like the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Where like there's enough cards that there's a lot of variance and like there's still stuff to discover, but there aren't so many cards that one pack coming out doesn't feel like it's really adding anything.
Yeah.
But that's why I also think it's important, and they've already said they're going to do this, that you keep the rotation in the card pool tight.
Yeah.
And I think they plan to do that, right, with rotation and the way it's going to work. Because if every release that comes out feels as significant as this, and it's not a huge, it's not like a 50, 60 new card expansion right now. But if every new release feels this significant, they will be achieving something really impressive for a card game.
Yeah.
And I think it's achievable with Skytear, the design, and what they're doing.
It drives me insane. Okay, so to everyone subscribe to us. Thank you so much for doing that. We've
smashed that like button.
We've smashed it. Ring that bell. Ding, 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 ding.
Hey, but really though, text us. Make that pop up. Let's see if Bryce is gunslinging.
Things are getting wild here at Covenant. We got the studio building. We just got these studio mics as well. Been a dream of mine for a very long time. We'll be using these on the podcast this week for the first time. And Zach gets to watch as I'm literally looking at you in the monitor, just staring at me as I'm talking into this mic. It's a great joy to be able to do this and create some content on the daily and follow Skytear, one of my top 5 favorite games. Netrunner, Skytear.
Don't go down that path yet.
Star Wars TCG.
You got to prepare.
Thrones First Edition may be there.
There's some good memories.
Honestly, it may be there. And Monpok. Monpok's on there too. That's 5. I did it. That's my favorite
first 5. That was your first 5.
I won't tell you the order though. I'll never tell you the order.
It's like kids. You can't. Which one's your favorite? It was me.
Hey, huge thanks to Jockmo, to Ricardo, everybody doing all the hard work over there. Just if you're on the fence, just buy into this, would you? It's so I've not had a single person leave a comment and say, I took your advice and I hated it. Every single person has said, I was on the fence, I decided I guess I'll go ahead and get in, and then they're like, I can't believe that it's this good.
It's phenomenal. And major shout out too to the entire community. I think the people that are rallying behind this game and on Discord online, it's what it's going to take for this game to make it in the long term. And PvP keeps delivering. So I'm excited. These expansions are coming out in a few weeks. If you haven't already grabbed them, you can grab them from the PvP site once they're released. And then if you want to automatically get stuff in the future, you can subscribe and help support this game and help support everything we're doing here.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations again to Ian. Congratulations to Clinton on the finals there last night. That was a great game. And keep playing, everyone. Let's go. Thanks for watching.